I can't believe it either. Welcome back. It's been, how long has it been? A couple of years?
It's been like 2 years.
About 2 years since we've done this before?
Well, the last one we did was Bright.
Yeah.
Which was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That delightful film.
Now we're back.
We're back. And we're worse than ever.
We got degrees now, so now we're kind of like okay to do this.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Last time we were doing this, we were juniors in college, and now we have degrees. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Now we're proficient in what we do.
I don't know about proficient.
We're more proficient than we used to be.
That is very true. I'm gonna go turn this fan off. It's probably ruining the audio. Well, not turn it off, but just put it at a. Why don't you entertain our audience?
All right. Well, I'll do that. Hi, it's Gabbs. Just turning off the fan in the background there. We have returned from underneath the couch and have resurrected the Yeti microphone that we've had to record all the previous sessions. You connect it to DeGe's computer, press the record button. We saw a movie and we're about to do the same thing we've been doing.
Yes, we are.
For the Cinema Dash.
It's the episode nobody asked for.
It's the because you know how Hollywood never lets anything die anymore.
That's very true.
Well, we never let this die.
No, we haven't.
Even though it totally should have never started.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, we got to talking recently.
As recent as yesterday.
Yesterday.
The day before this recording.
No, but like Peter and like Kevin and stuff asked like when it was coming back, and Peter was like genuine about it. So we were like, I don't know, whenever we find the time. And now that we graduated, we have the time.
We never had Kevin on the show.
We never had Kevin on the show, yeah. Now that he changed his major to communications and film, he's much more knowledgeable. Yeah. Let's get Kevin on the show sometime.
We should. We get everyone on the show.
We should get everyone on the show.
But we should get everyone on the different show.
Yes.
Because during this discussion of bringing this back,
yes,
we've agreed that we will probably rebrand it. Mm-hmm. Try to make it a little bit more appealing title-wise.
Yes.
Because we realized that the Cinema Dash, just hearing other people say it kind of makes me cringe. So I want to get something that makes me happy to call the show what it is, rather than have it be the second attempt on a movie podcast name generator.
Yes, no, that is very true. And the thing was, like, we never really, like, the Cinema Dash, right? Like, only like 2 out of the 3 words relate to what we're doing. Because, like, think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like the Cinema Dash. No, but think about it, right? Like cinema, or like. The Cinema Dash implies these are going to be very quick movie reviews.
And we have episodes that are like hour and a half long.
Yeah, hour and a half long episodes and stuff like that. And it's a podcast, we talk about movies. Sometimes we talk about trailers. Sometimes we talk about TV shows. And it's like, okay, yeah, we got the cinema part down, but the Dash part doesn't really make any sense. Yeah. So we're going to rebrand it. If we end up doing another episode after this, all episodes from here on out are going to be Cinema Dash. When we get
people to help us out with the
rebranding,
because we want to make it look good.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we've been running on not Photoshop for a while.
That's
some
true.
Photoshop, but
mostly Paint.net. But I digress.
MS Paint we've really been working with for the most part. We don't want to do that anymore.
No, and plus I gotta fix my Adobe Audition because Audition's been giving me problems, and then we're gonna be able to record with 2 mics because we have 2 professional mics now instead of just the one.
Now.
Indeed,
so
instead of just the one.
And now we'll be able to make our voices sound even better.
Indeed.
And annoy you even
that's
more.
what everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
But no, and we were also thinking about doing with the new podcast, because we both have an affinity for music and TV as well. So really, just
we're going to talk about pretty much everything.
Yeah. So like, if a new album comes out that we both really like and we want to talk about, we're probably just going to do an episode on it. Or if we watch a TV show that we both really like, and we're going to do an episode on it. Yeah. Or like a season and stuff like that. Because like we both watched the Marvel shows and we both had a lot of things to say about them, but we didn't think it was a good fit for the podcast.
For the show about movies.
Exactly. Yeah. But now with this,
I think rebranding it as whatever it will be.
Yeah.
So we can not limit ourselves to just movies.
Exactly.
We can have a bigger audience and therefore a wider trajectory of things to talk about.
Exactly.
A bigger gallery
Yeah.
of stuff.
So it's basically turning from a movie podcast to pretty much anything media podcast.
We'll just bullshit.
Yeah. I mean,
Give us a topic, we'll bullshit it for about 50 minutes.
and we could still do like one-offs and stuff like that too, because
Of
like,
course.
because maybe I want to talk about like a book or something, because I've been getting back into reading lately. Ever since I
Yeah, I never learned how to, so there's. He's the only one really doing that.
yeah, I've been reading a couple books that I have some choice thoughts on. I actually just read that Twin Peaks book over there, and I wanted to share my thoughts on that. So, who knows? But yeah, definitely look forward to the rebranding, because the rebranding is going to be really cool. But still the same format, still two guys just BSing about movies. But
maybe a third person.
maybe a third person.
Maybe
you never know.
Maybe we'll have a girl do it this time.
Maybe a girl.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
We're gonna throw a lot of curveballs.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll keep you guessing. But yeah. So just look forward to that rebranding. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. We're both really looking forward to sharing all of the ideas we have cooking up. And yeah, I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
But as for now, in the next coming weeks, maybe months, it'll still be running as the Cinema Dash. And when the rebranding gets going, we'll keep everybody updated. Exactly. So with that out of the way, with our long introduction out of the way, let's get back to doing what we do best. Talking about movies.
Yes.
And we saw one.
Yes, we did. We just got back from Sony's property, Spider-Man, the farthest from home.
Yes, a great distance away from my dwelling.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I need to use Google Maps because, God damn it, Maps on the iPhone just does not work.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a narc.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah.
It's the movie with Tom Holland. It's the movie with Zendaya. It's the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's the movie with Samuel L. Jackson. It's the movie with Kobe Smulders, who did something.
That is true, isn't it? Like, she hasn't done shit.
Not a lot of stuff.
You know?
Mainly,
she hasn't really done it.
Mainly this stuff like the Captain America movies. She's just kind of there to save everyone's butts for a small part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agent Maria Hill is like the least consequential.
I don't think she's anyone's favorite character.
Definitely not. I mean, I think Agent Phil Coulson was a lot better in terms of just like having shit to do. Mm-hmm. But that's like not Kobe Smulders' fault. You know what I mean? That's just the writing. So I don't know. I guess this movie made her do things, and she was really good at doing said things. So I was happy about that. But yeah, so we saw the movie, and now we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
So
a brief story.
Yeah. So
synopsis, because the movie just came out. And,
that is true.
We're not going to do any spoilers.
That is true as well.
Because yes, it does not make any sense to do so. I mean, we could.
I'd say if we talk about spoilers, we just give a warning like we did in the past.
Yep.
You know, for anybody.
Sure, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Like we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Like the London Bridge, where the final battle is.
Yes.
Before we get to that final battle, we got to get to the rest of the story.
That we do.
Yes.
Believe it or not, this movie has a story.
Yes.
So yeah, pretty much, Spider-Man is friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's well known around New York and the world now after the events of Endgame. Mm-hmm. Spoilers: this movie takes place after Endgame, but you probably knew that already. This movie takes place after Endgame, and he's reeling with the loss of Tony Stark and how life is moving on. And he has become something of an icon now. And so he goes on a summer vacation trip with his class, his science class, all around Europe. And Nick Fury calls him, and hijinks ensue with a fishbowl-headed Spider-Man villain.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone knows it's Mysterio.
Oh yeah, but
that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep. And it's Jake Gyllenhaal, who you really like.
Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors. Is my favorite actor.
Yeah.
We talked about some movies on the podcast that feature him.
That we did?
I think we talked about Nightcrawler. I forget some of the movies that we did.
I think we did Nightcrawler. I'm pretty sure we did Nightcrawler. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, wait, we didn't do Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was before we started.
Yeah, true.
Our first movie was It Follows.
Yeah. Not in between then and... Because we did some movies from the past.
Oh, we did. I did a... Oh, no, wait, just kidding. I did... Oh my god, did we do any movies with Jake Gyllenhaal?
I don't think so. Maybe not.
I swear, I think we did.
See, it's been 2 years and we just did not look at the channel.
It's been a long time. No, I go back and watch some old videos. I went back and actually listened to the old Homecoming video we did with your brother, and that was funny. But yeah, so right off the bat, in classic cinema dash faction, we'll just take it from... If you couldn't tell, I think we're a little rusty.
Yeah.
But we'll just take it from...
I think we're going to do this one a little bit shorter, this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
This will be the actual fastest cinema dash.
Yeah. In terms of just everything good about the movie, I get right off the bat, the acting is fantastic in this movie. Tom Holland is really great. Like, honestly, like, he was really great as Spider-Man in Civil War, Homecoming, and Endgame. But this, I think he really, like, comes into the role, honestly. Like
Infinity War 2.
Infinity War 2. Yeah, yes, Infinity War. I think he really comes into the role with this one because he is absolutely fantastic. Like the emotional range this kid has is like insane.
Yeah.
Because like there was the one where like Fury's like talking to him after the fight with the big fire guy, the elemental, and he like starts bawling because like he has to choose between like whether he wants to live a normal life or he wants to be an Avenger, and he really wants both and stuff like that, and he just starts bawling, and then he starts crying at the end when certain things happen, and I was like, shit, this kid is like really just giving it his all. And like even just as awkward Peter Parker, he's really great too. Like just all the nuances and the little like shreds of just insecurity are just really fantastic that he pulls out. Yeah, no, I really like Tom Holland in this movie. I think he's fantastic.
I'm gonna say right off the bat, I think this is the best Spider-Man movie ever.
You think this is the best Spider-Man movie ever?
Best live-action Spider-Man movie ever.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Right off the bat, I was like a little skeptical. I think it was just going to be on par with Homecoming because I liked Homecoming a lot.
Me too, yeah.
And I think this did a lot of things better than I think any Spider-Man movie has done. For example, this Spider-Man is very much likable. Tom Holland is incredibly likable. I don't like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and in fact, I would even say I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
All right, we're pushing it. We're pushing it
a little bit more.
But Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man isn't even Spider-Man. Like he's like a cool kid. Like Peter Parker's not a cool kid. He's like a streetwear hipster type kid. What do you mean? So that's just not Peter Parker.
It's a different take on Spider-Man. Everything's a different take on Spider-Man.
Yeah, but why is he cool?
That's why we have 3 Spider-Man. That's why we have 3 different Spider-Man franchises. There's just 3 different Spider-Men. There's Spider-People.
But Peter Parker is like an established character.
I know
with his
Peter
own
Parker
nuances,
is an established
backstory, and everything.
Just the Andrew Garfield cinematic Spider-Man is the most popular of... Not popular as in like the most likable out of in audiences, but like just the most popular of the 3 that we have.
Like in terms of his social standing?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's dumb.
I mean...
That's dumb. Peter Parker's not popular.
It's like, I mean, you can also... I mean, that's just a whole lot of like... Comic book fans will be like, oh, I don't like how he's that popular. And other moviegoers will be like, maybe I like him because he's a little bit more popular. Maybe I don't want to be a total nerd. I want him to be a geekazoid. That's stupid.
A knucklehead McSpazatron.
Yeah. Because you get Shazam, and Shazam's just kind of like, he's a kid, and now he's a superhero. He's a big old nerd. I don't know.
But he's not a nerd. In Shazam, he's not a nerd.
Also,
yeah, you didn't see.
I didn't change my opinion with the DC movie, so I still have not seen anything.
Yeah,
past,
he still doesn't like him. I think the last time you saw was Wonder Woman, right?
I illegally watched Wonder Woman and thought that was shit. Yeah. So like, yeah, I just kind of stopped after that. But regardless, because you did the one-off of that because you saw that in theater.
I did.
And then I saw it afterward by myself, illegally. I'm stressing that I saw it illegally because I'm so glad I didn't spend the money to actually go see it. Because it's just a bad movie. There's no way going around it.
Gonna respectfully disagree, but that's not what we're talking about.
People were disappointed with Captain Marvel. I thought it was fine.
I don't know. Captain Marvel was okay.
I think it was better I think it's better than Wonder Woman. At least it had a solid story.
Wonder Woman had a solid story.
Solid.
Don't look at me like that.
Solid Swiss cheese, because there's also holes in Swiss cheese, but it's also a solid. Anyway,
there are plot holes in Wonder Woman?
There's so many, dude.
How many?
Look, I have not watched the movie in 2 years, but I remember I am not going back to. I'm not going to watch it again just to see how many plot holes there are.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
Because I just don't care.
Okay.
And I also haven't seen the movie in 2 years. I don't remember because I'd rather think about other things that are good.
Look, I'm not
like for example, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
get back
Spider-Man is great. Yeah.
But yes, this is my favorite Spider-Man. I think out of all the Spider-Man movies we have,
that is
Spider-Verse again is. I'm gonna take that as a completely separate entity. Like that's just a.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, it is a Spider-Man movie. It's just a very different Spider-Man movie.
Well, here's the thing. If we're talking like plateaus of Spider-Man movies, like you got like the tier list. S tier is like Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Like animated or live action, hands down.
Yeah.
Like no doubt about it.
I would still watch. I would want to watch that again because I know it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now. Yeah. I got super excited.
I want to watch it again and compare it to this one, but I still think. But for now, I will say that Into the Spider-Verse is the best one.
That is a masterpiece, unlike any other superhero movie or animated film ever. But this movie is like A tier, I would say. This movie's great. But let's talk about why it's great. So acting all around is great.
Story is also really solid.
Story was really good. It was nice. It was heartfelt. It was relatable.
Because that like if you know who I'm gonna keep the spoilers away from this, but
yeah.
If you know who Mysterio is, they do a really good job of honoring it.
Yes. Oh my God. Mysterio
is really cool.
So good in this movie. Yeah.
And I will say another home run villain from the Spider-Man franchise. Because Vulture was really good. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Mm-hmm. But there's only been the 2 movies, so in comparison to all the Marvel villains,
even in the Raimi trilogy, like Green Goblin's fantastic.
Oh yeah, like
in the first one, and then Doc Ock is really great too. But Sandman was pretty good, but then you had
in the second half of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, the second half of Spider-Man 3.
I think
with Harry Osborn is shit.
It's possible. It is quite possible that Spider-Man 3 ruined the entire trilogy for me.
Seriously?
I think it's that bad.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 is pretty dog shit, but I don't think it ruined Spider-Man 2.
It's a laughably bad movie.
It is pretty bad, yeah. I will agree. It's complete dog shit. But I don't think it ruined Spider-Man 2, though. I think Spider-Man 2 is the pinnacle of
I have to
2000 superhero movies.
I want to rewatch all these Spider-Man movies because I really want to do I think it'd be cool if we did a tier list of Spider-Man movies.
I would love to do a tier list. Maybe that could be something we do for the rebrand. We do screen capture and we do some tier lists.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I'd love to do that. I love doing tier lists. That's not a guilty pleasure, but something that me and my friends in college would do when we got really bored. But yeah, no, I actually did recently rewatch Spider-Man 1, and it still holds up. That movie's fantastic. But Spider-Man has the best rogues gallery in superheroes, besides Batman. Mm-hmm. Marvel's if in terms of superheroes from Marvel and DC, Marvel's got Spider-Man in his rogues gallery being the best, and DC's got Batman in his rogues gallery being the best because there's so many iconic villains in there. You know what I mean? Batman has Batman. Most of Batman's villains are household names, and so are Spider-Man's. So there's such a great there's such a plethora of villains to choose from, in order to make them all compelling. So Vulture has always been great, and Mysterio has always been really interesting also because he's one of the only Spider-Man villains that doesn't actually have powers and can still kick Spider-Man's ass, which he does in this movie to a great extent.
Yeah.
But Mysterio was really great in this movie. I wasn't completely sold on his motivation, though. I just kind of found his motivation to be mustache villain twirly kind of thing, and nothing really hit home for me. Nothing in terms of a Killmonger or or even a Vulture. You know what I mean? His Mysterio's whole motive was that Tony Stark took his life's work and then called it barf.
We're kind of going into the spoiler territory because
that is true.
So yeah, spoiler.
So yes, spoiler. I wasn't too sold on his motivation because literally all it was Tony Stark took his life's work, called it barf, and then fired him. I'd be pretty pissed off, but I wouldn't want to cause cataclysmic events that wipe out entire cities over it.
Tony Stark took his idea, which was, I think, in Spider-Man 3. That was it. That was that part of the movie that they kind of just took the archive footage from. and put Jake Gyllenhaal in there. It was from
that was from
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man. I think that was Civil War.
Or Civil War.
I think that was Civil War. Yeah, because the flashback scene of Robert Downey Jr. when he was young, that's from Civil War. Okay. Because then it goes into showing how Winter Soldier kills his parents.
Yes.
Yeah. That was some Civil War.
So yeah, that's Civil War, and then from there, I completely forgot what I was talking about. No, we're talking about how he lost, how he is, why he's doing his
the motivation.
Yeah, his motivation. He took his idea. Tony Stark takes Mysterio's idea, makes it his own, gives it a stupid name, and then fires him because. He has a not so forward-thinking mind.
Yeah, he's like super unstable.
Super unstable. He fired him because he had an unstable mind. Which at that point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think if Tony Stark at the point of Civil War fired someone for that reason, he's probably got a point. Knowing that he's also
Mysterio.
Firing Mysterio for that at that point. Yes.
Oh yeah. But like. I don't know. I just feel like there needed to be a little bit more motivating his character other than like he just got fired. You know what I mean? Like if Tony Stark like bankrupted him or like I don't know. I'm just throwing out bad ideas here. I mean I didn't write the movie, but I don't know. I just feel like there needed to be some more like emotional weight or like if like they could have done something with like his actual family, like if because they like he mentions that he has like this fake family or whatever, but like if Tony Stark like took this like technology and then like a Stark weapon killed his family or something like that, again just bad ideas, but like just something more to tether that motivation to actually being a believable one. But other than that, like he was a super memorable villain. Like all the visual effects shit was so cool.
Which is I think also some of the best visual effects I think I've seen in a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
Since Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange I think has the best ones. Yeah. Has the best visual effects.
Yeah, Doctor Strange goes for the more like the trippy and like
it's more the Inception.
The hallucinogen stuff. Yeah. Yeah. This one goes just more for like illusory, like illusion stuff. Which is, again, you know, Mysterio's entire character, because all Mysterio does is just a visual effects.
He's a visual effects artist, and he just does this, he makes fake crimes and stuff, and appears to be the hero.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
And tries to take over as the most popular superhero in comparison to Spider-Man, and that doesn't work out, so he becomes a villain.
Exactly, yeah. And that's how it pretty much is in the comics, and they pretty much follow the same like plot threads here, but obviously they adapted to like their MCU. They adapted to the MCU because, you know, none of that happened in the comics with like his Tony Stark stealing his work and shit, but like whatever. But yeah, no, it was really cool. All of Mysterio's visuals and stuff. What I thought was, I had a lot of questions at first, because like when they figured out it was fake, like when Peter Parker and MJ figure out it's fake and stuff. I'm gonna warn everybody again, we're in spoiler territory. We announced it before, but we're still in spoiler territory. When Peter and MJ find the projector thing, I had a lot of questions because I was like, okay, so it's all a projection and stuff like that, but how is he causing all of like the rampant destruction? How is Peter getting hurt? You know, because they're all illusions and stuff like that. But then they show that he's like using drones and shit like that, and I was like, okay, great, they addressed that. I mean, I would hope they would have addressed it because that's just like screenwriting 101. But like it was just cool to see like the unique way that they did address it with like all of these drones and how we just hacked into Stark satellites and shit, which I thought was really cool. And yeah, no, but acting all around from everybody was really great. I loved Tom Holland. I loved Zendaya actually pulled through with a pretty solid performance also.
I've always liked her, and I've liked her in the last one. I like her in this one again. All the side characters in this movie are great.
Yes, absolutely. Betty Brant's great. His friend Jacob? No. Ned. His friend Ned is fantastic in this film. And like
again, he's fantastic in the film. Zendaya is fantastic in this film, like she was in the last one. Samuel L. Jackson gives the same quality performance.
You're never going to get a bad performance from Sam Ellis Nick Fury.
Kobe Smulders really stepped up her game in this one because, again, she does a good job. I just think the writing for her character isn't good. Hasn't been good, but this is the first one where I think like, okay, she's really good.
Yeah, she's like actually doing shit, which is great.
Even Aunt May, even for the small amount of screen time she had, she was still fun.
And even Happy Hogan, dude.
Yeah,
John Favreau. All right, I'm gonna sidetrack for a hot second. Jon Favreau is quickly becoming like one of my favorite people ever, because like
absolutely
he's just like this. Like I can't even describe it. Like he's so just charismatic. He's got like that New York like charisma, but he just transfers it into like this super wholesome, like but like still a little raunchy like humor. Like I love Chef. And I watched the Netflix show that he did where he just like makes sandwiches, and I fucking love it. Like he's so great, and I love like swingers.
He makes all kinds of food.
Yeah,
stuff.
and he just does what he wants, and I love it. And dude, I'm so excited to see what he does with the new Star Wars show he made, because he's showrunning The Mandalorian, and directed a couple episodes, and I'm so excited to see how that show turns out, because at this point I watch Jon Favreau shitting into a bucket and throwing it off the London Bridge and still get some form of entertainment out of it. Oh, hello, car. But anyway,
I'll repeat that one more time just in case.
Yeah, I said I would watch Jon Favreau shit in a bucket and throw it off the London Bridge and derive some form of entertainment.
Good, like I recorded anyway, but it's still.
But yeah, no, I love Jon Favreau. I think he's fantastic, and you know, again, he has his signature charisma and charm in this movie as well. So to wrap it up, acting all across the board was fantastic, and I want to move on to my next point, which was probably my favorite aspect of this movie was the writing. Wow. Like experiencing a lot of this, like I thought I still do think this, but my litmus test for like high school movie writing, like writing in a high school movie.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
That's a SAT word right there. That's a couple thousand points in Scrabble.
1,000 points in Scrabble.
That's how the points work.
Yeah. No, they go by thousands, millions, trillions.
Dude, I don't think I've played more than 5 games of Scrabble.
Me neither, honestly. But my standard.
I never tried Scrapple though.
Scrapple?
Scrapple.
What's Scrapple?
Scrapple is like a South Jersey, like Pennsylvania, Delaware kind of a combination of different meats. And it's more for like breakfast food. I've never tried it. Apparently people like it.
Whatever, dude. South Jersey's a fucking wasteland, so who cares? Yeah, that's right. You heard it here first, kids. South Jersey's a wasteland. And Central Jersey doesn't exist. Don't look at me like that.
Dude,
don't look at me like that.
My friends who I hope listen to the show. My friends I think who hopefully watch the show.
I don't know.
Are from I think South Jersey and presumably Central Jersey.
It's alright. Most of my college friends are from South and Central Jersey too.
And that's half
give or take. No, all up to the people I know in South Jersey. All the rest of you, just get firebombed, honestly.
Oh.
Just get out of here. Completely
no.
kidding. Completely kidding. We don't want any of that.
We're gonna get strikes from YouTube.
We're gonna get copyright strikes.
Our rebranded.
It's gonna be so short-lived.
So short-lived.
No, I'm kidding. Much love to South and Central Jersey listeners. Huge fans of you guys. Thanks for sticking through this. But going back to the writing, my standards. So like my litmus test, like my standards for how a high school movie should be written is The Edge of 17.
Yes.
So we both saw that. We both loved it.
But we did this episode for that, I think.
We did do an episode for that. But those are that's the S tier high school movie for me, because like The Edge of 17 is like the most relatable shit on the planet, because like, you know, most high school movies like from the 80s and stuff like that, while being very relatable and timeless.
Did you see Booksmart?
I did not see Booksmart, but if you want to do a one-off on Booksmart, go ahead, because I know you have a lot of stuff to say about it.
I mean, like, it's just not. I mean, I just don't want to, because like I don't think I have a strong enough opinion about it.
Okay. So was it kind of like a Midnight Special situation? Like, remember when we watched Midnight Special and we both wanted to do an episode on it, and then we watched it and it was like, yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it.
I honestly don't even remember Midnight Special. Which one was that one again?
That was the one that was like Michael Shannon has like the kid, and the kid has like powers and he wears goggles, and Adam Driver's in it and he's like a government agent.
Oh, maybe.
You remember that?
Maybe.
They're like all going on a road trip, and then at the end there's like this big alien city that's living on top of ours, and he's like,
oh yeah,
he's like, Daddy, I need to go live with the aliens now.
Sure.
Yeah. I just remember like we watched that, and then we were like going to do an episode on it, and then we watched it, and it was like yeah. I don't really have that strong of an opinion on it.
I'm glad I spent half the money I did because it was a Tuesday for the movie. Also, today's not Today's Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday, yeah.
As of the recording? Yeah. Those tickets are half price, right? Or does that movie theater not do it? Kenalon
No, it's not that it wasn't half price, it's because I bought them on Fandango. So...
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, I just kind of located ourselves, but the Kenalon movie theater, I won't say which one, but that one in particular, the one that we have definitely been to...
100%.
Does do half price tickets.
Yes, they do.
That's where I did see Booksmart, and that's where I didn't have a fun time seeing Booksmart. Because that movie is essentially super bad, but it takes place in 2019 with high school girls or women. And I already don't think Superbad's that good of a movie. Like, we put it on such a high pedestal as, like, that movie's funny as hell, and I'm like, that movie's good.
I don't know. Judd Apatow's kind of a talentless hack to me.
Oh yeah,
that's my hot take for the day.
Fuck Judd Apatow.
Yeah, that's kind of that's our hot takes for the day. Judd Apatow's not a good writer, but anyway,
he's just not a good person.
I just don't think he's funny. I don't think he's funny at all. I think his brand of comedy is weak.
He's a cuck, and he likes seeing his wife kiss and hug and smooch and have relations with stronger, muscular, more handsome men, presumably John Cena.
Yes, I presented this theory to my good friend here. Like a while ago, where I said that all of Judd Apatow's movies take place in the Judd Apatow cuck cinematic universe, because Judd Apatow in every single one of his movies has his wife get banged by another hotter dude, and I think he just likes seeing that. I really do. I think he just does it for sexual satisfaction, not to make a good movie. I think Judd Apatow's a cuck, but like he doesn't want to admit it, so he puts it in his movies.
You do like a movie theories thing.
I do, yeah.
That. Do my Adam movie theory. Do my Adam Sandler cinematic universe theory.
Yeah.
Where all the Adam Sandler movies are just connected somehow.
They are. Dude, it's a multiverse. Like Billy Madison and then like The Waterboy. It's like a multiverse. You know?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yes. Going back into that.
Yeah, the writing. So my bar is The Edge of 17. That's how I feel every high school movie should be or aspire to be written like. And this movie comes not close, but does its own thing really well. I don't know. Just like The Edge of 17, I relate to more because I've had experiences like that more so. Because like, all right, so there's a very relatable plot there with Adam. With Spider-Man trying to get, or Peter trying to get Mary Jane, and like he really likes her, and like he doesn't know how to go about doing it, and he's really awkward around her, and like he really likes her, and like he obviously shows it, and like she obviously shows it, and it's like a will they won't they type thing, and like yeah, I've been through that in high school. Like I totally get it. It was like it wasn't like watching myself on screen because
I was like that 6 months ago. So.
yeah. So like it's a really relatable thing, you know. Like you with your girlfriend, you were like you said you were like that. I was definitely like that in high school with the girl that I really liked. And yeah, so it was just really relatable. Honestly, this is probably the most relatable Marvel movie like ever, besides Homecoming. So. Just the way Peter's written and MJ's relationship was written was fantastic, because even when there were these really great action sequences, I was like snapping my fingers waiting to get back to the MJ and Peter plot, because that was my favorite part of the whole film. Their chemistry is like so tangible. The way their dialogue is really great, has a lot of like witty snap to it, and just I remember saying like exact lines that this movie like had like to like this girl that I was like really into in high school, and like her saying them back to me and stuff like that. I don't know, like not exactly, but like so similar that like it brought up memories while I was watching the movie and stuff like that. And that I think is a really good thing, because that shows how strong the writing is. But yeah, even when we're outside of the really strongly written MJ and Peter plot, there are some really great moments from Jake Gyllenhaal that I think he has a lot of time to shine. Like the scene in the bar when he was like essentially just, it's like explaining his master plan, but it was like so funny and so snappy, and Jake Gyllenhaal was just like all over the place with the amount of energy that he was bringing to the table, that it made it like completely digestible and watchable. Now usually I'd give a movie, like I'd deduct a lot of points from the movie because it was basically just one huge exposition scene, but it was just really funny. And I think it was done very well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back into the acting abilities we did again. Excuse me. But it's also this is a very funny movie.
Yes, very funny movie.
A lot of funny parts. The part where his pants were not on, it was pretty funny. The part where his shirt was not on, and it was pretty funny because she tried to take a look.
To take a little peek.
The relationship between Ned and his girlfriend for the movie also is pretty funny because it plays along the lines of like the stereotypes of people who get into a relationship way too fast.
Oh yeah.
But it just does it really well for the modern day relationship. More just the I miss you too, even though they're right next to each other and just texting. That was pretty funny. Ned is just a great character.
Ned was really great, and I'm glad he had a lot more to do in this movie too. Nick Fury also put a lot of good jokes with Peter Parker. Peter Parker also, again, a lot of good jokes there too. Yeah. I feel like Tom Holland just has great chemistry with everybody on screen.
Well, also he's just now in every movie. So
that's true. Yeah. But I do feel like he just has a lot of like great chemistry with everybody on screen. Mm-hmm. Even in like Infinity War and Civil War and everything, like just his quippy behavior and his awkward Peter Parker are just. They just meld together. Like he could be talking to like a wet mop, and he'd still have great chemistry with it. But yes, no, and it was really funny. Now that you mentioned the Betty and a Ned thing, I did have a similar relationship, quote unquote relationship, my freshman year of high school, with somebody like that, where it lasted 3 whole days. It lasted 1 weekend. And we were like, oh yeah, I miss you. We would like do everything. And then like the Monday when we got back from school,
Who are these people?
I'll tell you after. I've definitely told you about these, but I'll tell you after.
A brief inquiry into DeGe's high school relationships.
But yeah, no, I did have that for like a weekend, and it was at the time I was like, shit, I'm on top of the world. But looking back on it, I was like, wow, this is the worst thing ever. But yeah. So and then the Monday after, she was like, yeah, I just don't want to be in a relationship right now. And I was like, okay. And then I cried about it, but it was fine.
It was 3 days.
What? Yeah, because it was 3 days. But no, it was just funny because, like, you know, I feel like that, like you said, that does happen a lot. Like people getting into a relationship way too fast, like going into the honeymoon phase and then having it wear off super fast as well, and realizing that this is not what you really wanted and stuff like that. And I think that was really funny and not something I thought I would see in a Marvel film anytime soon. But here we are, I guess.
Because it's really not a Marvel film. It's just a coming of age film that just also so happens to be a Marvel film.
That was going to be my next point. This did not feel like a Marvel film at all. This felt like a John Hughes film, like like Breakfast Club or like Pretty in Pink or like any other John Hughes movie.
Alien.
I think you mean Aliens.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's John Hughes.
Oh.
No, Aliens was a...
I understand who... Also, we need to watch that.
What, Alien?
Yeah.
Have you not seen Alien yet?
Nope.
Oh, very excited.
That's everyone's response to me. When I tell them I've never seen Alien.
Dude, it's like, oh my god. If we ever do a top 10 movies list, Alien's on there. I think we've done it already. Have we done it already? I think we recorded it but never released it.
Yes.
Because it was like 3 hours long.
Yeah. So we gotta find a way to break that down into hours pieces and then just release it as like a lost episodes, aka we just never released it because because whatever.
It was 3.5 hours long.
It was 3 hours
but yeah,
long.
I mean, I guess spoiler alert for one of mine, but whatever. Anyway, but yeah, no, this did not feel like a Marvel film at all. This felt like a coming of age, like semi-80s, mostly 90s coming of age film, and I really like that. I like that it didn't place a lot of emphasis on the action. I like that it placed a lot of emphasis on building Peter and MJ's relationship and the relationship between his friends and even his teachers and stuff like that. I thought that was a really bold choice for a Marvel film. It didn't feel like a formulaic like Marvel film where there's character scene, big action scene, all is lost moment, big action scene, end. You know what I mean? Like it felt like it felt like it was in its own contained. Not contained, obviously, because this is a sequel to Endgame, but it felt like it was in its own contained formula instead of following the Marvel formula that we've become so accustomed to ever since, 2008, I think Iron Man came out? 2008. And, I really thought that was a bold choice that really paid off for this movie. So The writing was fantastic. Do you have anything more to say about the writing?
We said visual effects already were outstanding.
Oh yeah, visual effects. I mean, at this point, it's a Marvel movie. Like you got to expect the visual effects to be like the top. Like, but really Marvel and Star Wars, like you're getting what you're paying for if you're going to see it for the visual spectacle. So like they're really at like the S tier of like visual effects in terms of live action as of right now. So I mean, yeah,
you can't go wrong with a Marvel. You really can't go wrong with a Marvel movie. There are duds in the whole cinematic universe.
100% there are.
Whether it's pretty much all the Thor movies and Captain Marvel. And
I wouldn't call Captain Marvel a dud. I'd just say it's like alright.
It did not live up to the hype that they had.
What I consider a dud in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like Thor: The Dark World. Like Thor 1 and 2 are duds to me, and then like fine movies are like Captain Marvel and like
Ragnarok.
I love Ragnarok, so I'm not gonna say fine, but like I know a lot of people were just like, it's fine. But no, like a fine movie to me in the Marvel universe is like Captain America 1.
Yeah.
Or like
I mean that didn't age well.
Yeah, it really didn't. I remember you and I watched it a while ago and we were like, this did not age well. In terms of just like the visuals. Like in terms of the story, like it's fine. But like Captain Marvel's like fine.
It's a good intro movie for a super
absolutely
for him. Yeah,
absolutely. But then what I consider like S tier like Marvel movie. This is like the 8th time I've said S tier this episode. But like what I consider like the highest of the high for Marvel movies is like Winter Soldier, Endgame, and Black Panther,
Infinity War,
yeah, like stuff Avengers. Like that. You know,
I think all the Avengers movies really go up there.
That's my unpopular opinion, and everybody knows this. But I hate the first Avengers movie. That's what I consider a dud. But like I could see why people put it as the S tier because like it was a huge cinematic event.
The first Iron Man movie.
I hate that movie, but that's me.
Yeah, really, no one really understands that, and I think everyone hates you more for it. So.
Wow. Was not expecting that assault, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're just assaulting a movie that is great, so there's that.
I just don't think so. But now that we've gotten our Marvel, but like that's where we pretty much stand. I mean, like you and I think have pretty similar opinions about like good Marvel movies and bad Marvel movies. You know what I mean? So that's really like our radar. But this movie is far from a dud.
Oh yeah, it's like I think it's at least B tier to the A plus tier.
Okay, yeah, would agree. But what else did you enjoy about the movie besides the writing, visual effects, stuff like that?
I mean, all the locations seemed like they all filmed the location.
Yeah, no, that was very cool.
All the visuals were really nice for scenery wise. You know, if anything was on a set, you know, didn't seem like it. Of course, no. I mean, that's basically it for me. Like, I think the whole movie as overall is fantastic.
Yes.
And really, I think it was leaps over Homecoming. And it's a great sequel follow Endgame. To follow that big of a movie, this is a great follow-up to it.
I would argue this is on, like, the same level as, like, First Avenger to Winter Soldier. Like, in terms of, like, quality leap. Like, Homecoming I still think is a fantastic movie, and it was my favorite Marvel movie for quite a long time. What
was the movie after Avengers?
Age of Ultron.
No, not.
Like the sequel to Avengers?
No, the movie directly after that.
Directly after. Maybe Thor: The Dark World. Because I remember that came out in 2012 also. Or was it 2013? I don't know. I think Avengers was the last one. I know
Ultron, because after Ultron was Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And then everyone was really surprised at how good that was.
Yeah, Ant-Man was good. No, I'm just talking like in terms of like their own respective trilogies.
Like following a movie following the Avengers movie, this is, I think, the best one to follow the Avengers an Avengers movie, because he had, I think we think Thor: The Dark World came after Avengers 1. You had Ant-Man following Avengers 2. If you want to do Ant-Man and the Wasp following Avengers Infinity War, There you go.
Oh, so you're talking just like in terms of like Avengers, then the movie directly after, then Age of Ultron, then the movie directly after.
To build the story of the saga, like this is the best one to follow an Avengers movie.
Oh, I would wholeheartedly agree. So because Endgame is probably the last one. Yeah, absolutely. But in terms of like just respective trilogies, like First Avenger to Winter Soldier is like a momentous leap in quality, like an extreme leap in quality, and then you have like Dark World to Ragnarok, which like Chris Hemsworth could have just shit in a bag and lit it on fire, and it would have been better than Thor: The Dark World, to be quite honest. But I would like it's like a fact that like the Dark World is like Ragnarok is like leaps and bounds better than the Dark World.
Well, I think people were more interested in Ragnarok than Dark World in the first place.
Yeah. Do you remember the villain of the Dark World?
This is Dark Elf.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't remember.
But the problem with Dark World to me is that so much important stuff happens that you needed to know for Endgame, for Infinity War, but the movie's so fucking boring that you don't want to remember it.
Exactly.
So it's like you need to watch the movie.
That is like a really weird movie to dump so much like plot into.
Yeah.
That's like super important for the rest of like the entirety of your cinematic universe. What a weird movie to dump all that shit into.
There's an Infinity Stone in there, and you need to know that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then when I remember, like, oh wait, the red one, that was Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, because then they Natalie Portman like touches it and she like dies, and then like they revive her with it, and it was like, what? I don't know. I totally didn't. That could have happened. That couldn't have happened. I don't know. I don't remember it because the last time I saw it was the only time I saw it in theaters, and I like was about to walk out. I saw it on a date, and like even she was like, "That was the worst date ever," and I was like, "Well, not my fault." But anyway,
again,
movie was shit.
A brief inquiry into DeGe's high school relationships. Again,
yeah. But
we're gonna have a discussion about this, my guy.
I definitely told you all of these. It's just not. They just weren't important. But yeah, Thor: The Dark World's shit movie. It's so bad. I hate it. But
Spider-Man's a great movie, though.
Spider-Man is a great movie. Yeah, I completely agree.
But
so now that we pretty much got all that we liked out of the way, what did you not like about the movie, if anything?
I don't think I disliked anything. I mean, the beginning, again, I said it was a little bit, I teeter-totter over it because I think some of the action sequences in the beginning with Spider-Man were a little dull. Stuff progressed in the story a little odd to start the movie, but I think once they went on vacation, it just went up from there. So I think the beginning was a little could use some fixing, but other than that, other than the beginning, really. I think this is a great movie. Yeah,
most of my flaws are pretty small to nitpicks. I would agree that while I do love this movie's decision to focus more on building its characters rather than action, I do feel like the action sequences could have benefited from a little bit more pizzazz in a sense, because it just felt like more of just like the same. But, all of Mysterio's action sequences were fantastic, obviously, like with the whole illusory visual effects stuff. That was all great. In terms of just like the final battle, the final battle was actually pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie, but everything pretty much leading up to before, like the elemental fight was like boring. The first elemental with the water was like pretty boring. Even the fire one was pretty boring. There weren't like really, like, yeah, there were stakes, but like, you knew they weren't gonna kill off whoever was in that situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? They weren't gonna kill him off. So like, kind of just lost all the stakes for me there. So yeah, I would agree that some of the action sequences, or most of the action sequences in the beginning were pretty dull. I will agree with that, but they got progressively better as the film went on. One thing that kind of annoyed me, but like this is obviously like a super nitpick, was that they didn't really take advantage of all the beautiful locations that they went to. Like, yeah, Venice is like a gorgeous city, but like we only saw like some like shitty back alleys. And then like Prague is also a beautiful city, and then they were like mentioning like this beautiful City of Lights carnival, and we only see like one shot of it for like 5 seconds, and then it tilts down to Peter and Betty and Ned walking. You know what I mean? Like I feel like now granted it's not Marvel's responsibility to like bring out the best in these. Well, that's kind of a false statement. I don't know. I feel like
I mean, like,
if you're in these exotic locations, show them off. You know what I mean?
I mean, have you, for someone who's only been to the Venice part of this film in real life, yeah, it's a beautiful city. But again, they're on a school trip. They're not there for long, and they make you feel like they're going from place to place, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
You're jumping from city to city. It's a school trip. You're not there for that long. We're moving forward,
right,
and we're progressing through the story. And S.H.I.E.L.D. takes over the trip eventually.
Yeah, like I said, stupid nitpick.
But I still thought that that's a point where I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Where I think each place they went to got their good amount of screen time and was justified with how much they were shown, and what we did get to see was great from them. Whether it was the bridge in Venice, the woodlands going to Prague, and there was the fire elemental was at like a carnival for the light ceremony thing that they were talking about. So I think that really succeeded. I think it succeeds there and doesn't really cut you with any bullshit.
No, I mean, like, yeah, like we see the carnival, but like we don't see it like in action. You know?
I mean, it's not really like nothing happened during the main part of the carnival. The fire elemental only happened at the one part where there was the carnival area. Mm-hmm. It really, like, if something were to happen like sort of during some parade for the light ceremony, then you're gonna need to show that, because if like a drone shoots someone at like during that scene, they're gonna want to show that, but nothing happened there, so it doesn't really justify it, I feel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, super stupid nitpick that like did not detract from anything of my enjoyment in the.
But the London scene, I think you'll have more knowledge of more if they did a good job of showing that, because you went there.
I mean, yeah. I walked on Tower Bridge. It was really nice, really cool. Seeing it get destroyed was cool. I mean, don't really have much to say about that other than, London is a gorgeous city, and Tower Bridge is a gorgeous testament to the great engineering of London. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have much in the way to say of that other than that it's just, it's a great city and I love it.
Just thought about this now. The one thing I think was weird in this movie was that the British Royal Guards with the
assault rifles
with the movie hats had shot down a drone that was chasing like MJ, Ned, Betty, Happy, and Flash into some museum. Sure. Medieval thing, because like there's like they just found knights in armor that were like on display, and there was a mace that
that's in Tower of London.
So there you go. Again, that's something that I wouldn't know as someone who's never been to London or knows next to nothing about it.
Right. Well, yeah, obviously it was like a set, but like, because they're not going to film in the real museum of the Tower of London. But
you know that. And with that being said, it does a good job. Does that do a good job?
Yeah,
representing the location.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the same one. Obviously,
it's a set,
and I don't really remember like every like nook and cranny of it, but I mean, from what I saw, it looked pretty similar. There were like medieval weapons and knights in shining armor and stuff like that. There were all of that when I went to go into that museum and stuff. And yeah, I mean, for the most part, it looked pretty faithful, I guess. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't remember like every nook and cranny of it, and I spent most of my time in the Tower of London outside, walking the barracks and the turrets and stuff. But yeah, sure. I mean, it looked fine. Mm-hmm. In terms of other stuff that I didn't like about this movie, other than that, like the Jake Gyllenhaal massive exposition dump was a little lazy in terms of writing, whereas like the rest of the writing is at such like a high standard. Like that scene kind of stuck out like a sore thumb.
But it saves.
But it
saves it.
But it's saved because Jake Gyllenhaal gives like such a committed and funny performance throughout that entire. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of those huge exposition dumps in Ant-Man when Michael Pena's talking. And like it switches like in between like all the locations with other characters talking and saying his lines and stuff like that. Like it was inventive, it was unique, it was a way to get out of just having like what I feel like is like the worst offender of like exposition dumps, or one of the worst offenders of exposition dumps, is, as much as I adore his films, Christopher Nolan, because like literally all he does is cast Michael Caine and have him just explain everything to the audience. You remember Inception?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that movie?
I've only watched it in 8th grade and have not seen it since.
Fair enough. Inception's one of my favorite movies of all time. Not in my top 10, but one of my favorite movies of all time. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, yes, this is amazing. This is great. This is a phenomenal action thriller. Then Michael Caine comes on screen, and I love Michael Caine. Great, classically trained British actor, but all he does is explain how shit works in every single one of his movies. Besides maybe the Batman movies, because he provides kind of like an emotional crutch for Bruce. Mm-hmm. But like every other Nolan movie, even Interstellar, when they're all sitting in that big ass boardroom and they're all talking, and he's just like, yeah, well, if we go into space, it's a pretty risky shit, huh? And then if we go onto these other planets, time's not gonna work the right way, it's gonna be a little weird, Mm-hmm. So like that's all he does in Nolan movies, and that's what I think is bad exposition. Whereas in Marvel's not like the be all end all of good writing, because like there have been plenty poorly written Marvel movies.
We've talked about that, yeah.
There have been plenty poorly written Marvel movies, but for a movie that actually like focuses on like improving its writing and making its characters like develop and stuff like that, it just kind of stuck out as a sore thumb. Mm-hmm. But it was done well enough to warrant being like, okay, I can look past it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So other than that, didn't really dislike much else about this film. So, do you want to move on to our ratings?
Sure.
So after you, my guy.
Movie's great. I loved it. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I think it's better than Homecoming. I don't remember what the score I gave Homecoming was, because it's now,
2 years.
It's been 2 years since Homecoming?
Yeah, 2017.
Sure. I don't remember that being that.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
Sure. I felt like 5, to be honest with you.
Really?
I don't remember.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, it feels like a long time. Yeah. But if it's only 2 years and shit, okay, sure. I don't
know, 2017 just feels so far, like so long ago,
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, like, yeah, I give this movie, I guess I gotta do the thing I used to do, where I just gave it like a bullshit score out of something.
Whatever you want.
I don't remember the score of the last of a Homecoming I gave, so you can call me out for giving it the similar score or a slightly better score.
I asked the Cinema Dash historians will be banging down your door.
Well, we only really have one, so he knows who he is. So, and he will not be mentioned, because he'll probably want to talk to me about...
if you say his name 3 times, he'll come in here and he'll tickle you.
I don't know if we're talking about the same person.
I think we're talking about the same person.
I'm gonna, do you have a pen around here? Let me see if you have a pen around here, and I'll give it to you. No.
Okay, never mind then.
I was thinking more of...
Oh, yes, of course.
So, so if that person in particular wants to DM me on Twitter, or at me on Twitter, or mention me in some comment section on Instagram, go ahead. I will probably give less of a shit if you do that. With that being said, I give this, I would go to 8.5 different countries on a school trip out of 10. I would take 8.5 pairs of pants off in front of some shield agent in the bathroom out of 10. I would do 8.5 Instagram live streams out of 10, which I honestly would do in the first place anyway. But
yeah, cool. I would also I would smack 8.5 drones out of the air with a mace out of 10. I would I give Peter Parker 8.5 little smooches out of 10. Give me 8.5 little smooches out of 10.
I give MJ 8.5 little smooches.
I give her a little smooch. I give
Ned 8.5.
Ned feels like he'd have some like pretty like nice pursed lips.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little. So.
I know Pride Month was 2 days ago as of this recording, but it never ends for us.
No, never. And also, a real quick note, we won't spoil them, but
the end credits.
The best post-credit scene in any Marvel movie ever happened in this film.
Definitely up there. Definitely up there with some of the best ones.
I would argue this is the best one. What would you say are like the best ones? Besides this one, obviously. Like, what would you say are the best ones?
I think, like, just of hyping people up. The one at the end of the first Avengers movie with just Thanos. Is always going to be just, like, in terms of getting everyone into the craze of the end credit scenes for Marvel movies, that's the one that everyone always remembers. Thor Ragnarok had a pretty good one because that just started Infinity War.
Which one was Ragnarok? When they were getting attacked.
They're just flying the ship, and then Thanos' ship just pops up, and it's like 1,000 times bigger than the ship that they were on, and just basically start attacking it, which opens that part of the movie. Another one would be Ant-Man the Wasp had a pretty cool one, I think, because it was a two-parter. Because it was just everyone getting snapped.
That one was rad.
Everyone but Ant-Man.
I loved that.
Everyone but Ant-Man getting snapped, and then the one actor is just a big ant, just kind of playing the drums while it's just he's playing the drums. You hear him playing the drums, but you see that everyone is gone.
Yeah. No. Ant-Man and the Wasp was fantastic. I love that one. Underrated one, Guardians 2. I really liked Guardians 2's.
With Adam Warlock, that one?
Was that? Yeah, Adam Warlock. Yeah, I like that one, because Adam Warlock is fucking rad. I love Adam Warlock.
Probably gonna be Keanu Reeves.
I would die if Keanu Reeves played Adam Warlock.
They want him in the cinematic universe, my guy.
Do they really? Did Marvel, say they want him?
Do you not listen to movie news? Especially with the Marvel?
I didn't know.
They really want him. They're basically guaranteeing him a part in some Marvel movie at some point.
I hope he doesn't play villain because he's born to play a hero. He's born to play a hero. The Matrix, Speed, Point Break. He's a hero. John Wick. I don't know if he's a hero.
Anti-hero?
Probably anti-hero. He's definitely the protagonist, but he's not a good guy.
They also really want to put Deadpool into one of the Spider-Man movies, or they want to somehow sew him into the cinematic universe from his standalone movies, whether it's a third Deadpool movie that somehow intertwines with the cinematic universe because they now own Deadpool, or they're even saying that putting him into a Spider-Man sequel would be an option.
Dude.
Which I think, considering the end, excuse me, I'm going stupid. The end credit scene with this one, I think it feels like the way to go. With that just seems to be the only logical answer. Even another 2 years, have him just be like, oh, it's the two of them fighting someone. It's the two of them trying to get along.
I'm gonna say this. Spider-Man and Deadpool would be amazing because the most recent run of Deadpool's comics has him with Spider-Man, and it's fucking fantastic. Sorry, I just hit the pop filter. It's fantastic. So if they base it off that run, my lord, we have a masterpiece on our hands. But yes, Spider-Man, Far From Home, pretty damn good movie. Big fan. Loved it a lot. Yes, so, hey, how's it feel to be back?
Feels alright. We said it was going to be a quick one, but it's an hour long now. Yeah. So we really haven't changed a bit.
No, not one bit.
Overall, I think I'm pretty excited. Can't wait to see this out and about and ready to spread it on social and stuff.
Me too.
Also going to say this, we do not have the social media for our channel anymore.
What do you mean?
I don't have it anymore.
Oh, you don't have it anymore?
Yeah, I don't know if it exists because it's just been so dead.
No, I think I still have it. We'll check after the recording's done, but worst comes to worst, we'll just make a new one.
If you want to, I'm cool with just spreading it on our own socials.
Well, yeah, I do that anyway. So yeah, sure. 100%. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if I'll double check when we end the recording. But hey, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with us, waiting 2 years for this whatever this is. We're very excited to be back. We're very excited to rebrand. If you missed, if you're still here, just a quick reminder that every video that we're going to be releasing
has no schedule. We have no schedule.
Has no schedule.
We'll get them whenever we feel like it.
Exactly. Has no schedule. And also, every video that we're releasing from here on out until further notice is going to be branded under the Cinema Dash. And once we get our rebranding done, it will be rebranded under a different name.
TBD.
TBD. And we're going to be spending time working that out. So thank you all so much for watching.
I'm Gabbs.
And I'm DeGe.
And this is, we're coming back.